Life is a time pass, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, पता नहीं, जो थारी राय सो मारी राय, nothing to do, nowhere to go, देखो सुनो मत बोलो, wherever, whenever, whatever you are, be 100% कर्नाटक, किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो, ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना, who asked you live at zero complete level, मौज में रहो, be happy.
Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Life is like a cup of tea. It depends how you make it. You boil it, make it bitter, and blame others. You add too much of sugar and make a Gujarati tea and suffer. Or you make the tea of your choice and be happy. Nobody can make us miserable. Nobody can make us happy. It is a subjective experience. Our problem is we blame others for all our problems in life. For example, this is just example. If I am a husband, thank God I am not. If I am a husband, what will be the cause of my misery? By default, wife. Now, what will be my attempt in life to improve the wife? This is called as Ashakya Anushtan, where Bhagwan Ram failed. The Jagjivan Ram will be successful. Therefore, don't seek happiness in life. Express happiness. Whenever you are happy, you are in the utter present. How simple it is. So if you make a commitment to yourself, be happy only today. Only today. We cannot live yesterday. We cannot live yesterday. We cannot live tomorrow. We have to live today. There is no option. See? If I ask you 293 days before at 5 o'clock in the evening, what you are doing? You are gone away from the present and struggling. Suppose I ask you after 200 days in the morning 10 o'clock, what you will be doing? Come on here, I don't know. In short, whenever you go away from yourself in time, space, and object, you are guaranteed to be miserable. So, if happiness we want to discover, friends, don't seek happiness in life. Express happiness. And when you learn this technique, then even God will fail to make you miserable. See, friends, this is the message of our Bhagavad Gita. Arjun was miserable. And what was the cause of his misery? Was he not capable of fighting the war? He was capable. Was it that that was his first war that he was afraid? He was a professional Sachin Tendulkar of his time. See? Then what made him miserable? Only one thing. He refused to remain in the utter present. How we go in the past or in the future. One of the method of going in the past and future is when we talk our past. जाने कहाँ गए वो दिन वो गए भाड़ में तुम भी जाओ. Why old people like me are not accepted among the youngsters? All the time they are talking about the past. See, therefore, if you ask me what spiritual practice I am doing, see, only one. Learn, learn, learn from every single experience of your life. That's all. Now, what happens? When we stop learning, we have become old. A child is constantly learning, isn't it? I was in Calcutta many years before, and there, because of my habit of learning languages, so I was learning Bengali, and then learned the alphabets, and then when I go out any board on a shop, I will read it, like that. So once there was a shop, clock or watch shop. So there was a nice board, the shop was good. So I thought, let me read it. So I stopped and read, not loudly, but not also in the mind. Gha, di, ka, du, ka, na. And I was so happy I could read perfectly. There was a Bongo Bandhu at backside, Bengali. And he said, this is not the way. I said, tell me what is the way? Ghodi ke do kaan. Bengalis, they will not say ghadi ka dukan, ghodi ke do kaan. See, friends, learn, learn, learn. When you learn, you continue to keep the child in you alive. Don't kill him. See, during these 2 years of Corona festival, those who have heard my talks, I used to call that Corona festival. On that also questions. Swamiji, why do you call it festival? I said, define festival. Diwali festival for everybody. Corona was for everybody. It was a festival. How you look at the world is in your hands. See, friends. Therefore, when you take this principle that we should not talk about our past, whenever we talk about, whenever we talk to others, what is the theme? Past. The children get fed up of the oldies. See, we refuse to remain in the present. And therefore, we are not happy. And then we go in the future. When we talk to ourselves, try these two things. You don't have to become happy. You are happiness. See? You don't have to go anywhere. The simple techniques. As you were telling about Amma, I have been going to Amma's ashram years, and we had there many talks on Panchadashi and so many texts. So, whenever I happen to meet Amma, she asked the same question. Who is looking after you? I said, Amma is looking after me. Okay, you come and stay in only cow. I said, okay. He says also, I also say, okay. But I have never gone. Maintain your freedom in life. Freedom from things and beings. Dependence is misery. Mahabharatkar says, Sarvam paravasham dukkham, sarvam atmavasham sukham, etad vidyat samasena lakshanam sukha. All dependence is misery, independence is happiness. So, first technique, if we accept this principle, that whenever we talk to others, we talk about the past. How to stop that? You all must be having some mantras, isn't it? What I played in the beginning, that we call as happy mantra mala. You do whatever japa you are doing. But if you are sincere to yourself, we do so many japa. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukam Yuvandanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Bhurbhu Saha Tasaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat. What you understood? When words do not carry meaning for us, it's a noise. Like if somebody talks to you, one or two words in Chinese language. So what do you say? He was talking all right. In between, what happened to him? Because that ping pong pong, we have no meaning for that. See, friends. Therefore, these are simple techniques. If you really want to be happy, first principle consciously you have to practice. Don't bring your dead past in the present. When you remain in utter present, you are nobody. And it is rightly said, nobody is happy. Nobody alone is happy. Somebody is always miserable. Now don't trust me. Longer the beard, doubtful is the words. Just recognize yourself. Who goes to sleep? Think over it. Waker doesn't go to sleep. He is not in the deep sleep. The dreamer also doesn't go to sleep. He is also not in the sleep. The one who is sleeping is not there. If he is there, if he is also sleeping, who will know it was a good sleep? So what is the sleep? Sleep is an experience where there is nobody. And therefore, all of us are happy when we are in deep sleep because there is nobody. And that happiness expresses as the snoring sirens. Try to be happy without laughing. One father told his son, my dear son, congratulations on the happiest day of your life. So the son said, Dad, you are so forgetful. My marriage is tomorrow, not today. He said, that is what I am telling you. Today is the happiest day of your life. From tomorrow onwards, wahi tamaku, wahi chuna, ragadte jao, khate jao. See, friends, The moment you become somebody, samsara begins. See, friends. Therefore, one of the most important conscious approach in life is don't bring your past in the present. But you also told just now, you used to go to Amma's ashram. She asked, are you not talking about past? I heard this question. Now be attentive. That experience from which we learn, that experience doesn't create a dent or a dash on our mind. That experience from which we have learned does not create an impression on the mind. Take an example. In childhood, we have sometimes touched the fire. As a child, maybe candle or something. And we got burnt. So we learned. And therefore, do we have hatred for the fire? Because we have learned. So what is real spiritual practice to be happy? Learn from every single experience of life. And those who learn from their experiences of their life, they start growing wise. And those who don't learn any experience of their life, they grow old and otherwise. So who are the old otherwise people? They have complained about everything in this world. Therefore, one of our Mahamantra is living at zero complaint level. So the first principle, if the mind is in utter present, it is leading towards happiness. But when the mind dissolves, it's only happiness. And this is the principle we have to consciously learn from our own experience. We don't have to go anywhere. So the first technique I told is never bring our past in the present. You are all NRIs. This is your experience. I learned from your children. You are all my gurus. And your kids are my guru, Mahagurus. I learned from them. I was in Newcastle in Australia in a friend's house. He is a Sardarji. So he had a son. Now he is a doctor. That boy has become grown up. So he was class 5 or 6. So I came from a long journey, and in the afternoon, after food, I was sleeping. He came from the school at about 3, 4 o'clock and woke me up. Swamiji, no sleeping, come, you have to play with me. Now, uska namak khaya, kaise namak haro. I had to get up. And then he took out football and wanted to play with you. For 5 minutes I played. I said, now listen, I played for you, you have to reply my question. Do you go to India? Yes. Every year we go to India. Now tell me something which I do not know. He said, it is so simple. When we go to India, we talk about Australia. And when we are in Australia, we talk about India. Is it not your story? Why can't you learn to remain here 100%? Or go back? ना घर के ना घाट के. See, back home, हमारे यहाँ ऐसा था. Go back. And then we complain. The mind is disturbed, mind is disturbed. See, and whenever you talk about India, you go in the past. And that India, what you have seen 20, 30 years before, and today's India is so different. Today, your America is backward, India is far forward. See, many people from these overdeveloped countries, when they come, with a cobbler, they see the QR code, they get the shock of their life. Oh God, maximum transactions came by UPI. Nobody carries money there now. Everything is in the phone. And one panwala told me this thing. He says, Swamiji, since this phone money has come, earlier I never got any letter from the income tax. Now I get income tax letter because everything is now recorded. See, friends, therefore, learn this simple technique. Do not talk about your past. See, we are Indians. We want to know everything about everybody. You know, one of the best things that I like about Americans, they don't bother about who you are, where from you are, what type of clothes you are putting on. Nothing. For us, everybody. अच्छा ये साड़ी कहाँ से लाई? Second hand है क्या? अरे, what is the need? People ask us also, all funny questions. Swamiji, where were you born? How you were born? Was it a normal delivery? Or, Arey Ram. It makes no difference. Don't gather garbage in your mind. And not only that, we also tell about ourselves. Now observe this. How we go in the past by default. Suppose some 2-3 people are talking. They are talking, the other day we went to the mall and there when I was climbing the steps and my foot got hurt and I fell down and all the way I came back down and it was so bad but somebody came and helped me. The story is over. Do you think others will keep quiet? ये तो कुछ भी नहीं. Then a new story will be fabricated. Remember, nobody is interested in our past. But then we want to get involved. If one person talks a topic, second has to bring something similar kind. About this, I'll tell you an example. This happened in Maharashtra. There was one place, Faltan, if I remember properly. Very beautiful Lord Rama's temple. My satsang was going on. And I was pretty young that time. So after the satsang was over, I was sitting in a jhula with one old amma who came with me. Swamiji, I want to come and stay with you. I said, come, no problem. The house is big and our host has no problem. So I was sitting, she was sitting next to me and we were having jhula. One young girl, she used to come for the lecture, she came to meet me. And she said, Swamiji, I have heard your talks. Now I have come to thank you. I changed my mind. I came actually with a view to get divorced and forget about everything. But after listening to your talks, now I realize where was the mistake. I have changed my mind. Thank you so much. I said, very good, Mama. Don't do that. Thereafter, may I ask you some question? I said, okay, ask. So she asked some question. Now this Amma who was sitting with me, 78 not out, she replied. Again, second question that girl asked, again she replied. Third question she asked, she wanted to reply. That girl said, excuse me, I have not come to talk to you. Will you please shut up? I said, no, don't say like that. I only told Amma to reply. She has got good experience and all that. Anyway, if you don't want her to talk, Mama, you get me a cup of tea, okay? Black tea, no milk, no sugar. Don't boil it too much, okay? Get it. I got rid of her. She went to the kitchen. After everything was over, that girl went away. Again, this lady came with a cup of tea. And Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. See, Swamiji, everywhere this happens. Whenever I talk to somebody, people say like that. I said, Mama, remember, never talk unless asked. One Maha Mantra, who asked you? This Maha Mantra, you know where I got it? I got it in Badrinath. And how? I finished my darshan in the morning, 4 o'clock, Badrinath Bhagwan, and came down. And there used to be one old Amma, Bhagwati Amma, I still remember. She is no more now. So I used to go to her, have a nice cup of tea, and talk to her. She was so great. The whole Bhagavad Mahapuran she knew by heart. Every day she used to chant one chapter before Bhagwan Narayana. And I was very small, so she was very much loving. Then I said, I am going to stop giving lectures, enough of it. When I said like this thing, she started laughing. I said, why are you laughing, Amma? She said, when there is a joke, we have to laugh. I said, no. So what is the joke? Joke is whose question you are answering. Who asked you? Did Narayana ask you whether you want to give lectures or not? I said, no, he didn't ask me. Did I ask you that you want to give lectures or not? No, you didn't ask me. Whose question you are answering? See how much we talk. Stop that. Therefore, Mahamantra, देखो, सुनो, मत बोलो. When you do physical work, 8 hours, energy consumption is same when you talk 1 hour. And when you talk for 8 hours, energy consumption is same when you contemplate intensely. What we are doing, constantly worrying. And after that, इसमें मन लगता ही नहीं, पंचर हो गया है ना. See, friends, and nobody can help us. Don't go to a psychiatrist. After one of my talks, one lady, I don't know if somebody is here also at the same time, he came, Swamiji, you talk the same thing what we talk. I said, I don't know what you talk and what I talk. No, I am also a psychiatrist and I also tell the same thing to the people. Then what is the difference between you and me? I said, I talk to dozens of them. I get nothing. Those patients talk to you. You don't listen. Yet you get everything. This is the difference. See, friends, don't go anywhere. Look within yourself. And for that, one technique is don't bring your dead past in the present. One example, just a fabricated example. Once I told my friend, I said, hey, when I was in jail, I somehow broke the jail and came out because the murder charges were on me. But don't tell anybody, okay? You are my good friend, therefore I am telling you. Don't tell anybody. Now, he also had one good friend. He told, don't tell anybody. Swamiji told me this thing. After moving around, one person, Swamiji, what people are talking about you? What? They are talking like this thing. Now, where from it started? Akhanda mandalakaram vyaptam yena characharam. If we cannot keep our past with us, will other keep? How important it is. Now, next step. Past belongs to the body, not to you. Can we go to the police and file an FIR? My childhood body is lost. Will you please find it out where it has gone? My teenage body has gone. My middle-aged body has gone. No. Past belongs to the body, not to us. But we are all the time living as the body, for the body, on everybody. That is all our life. And therefore, we are struggling to get happiness. And then how do we get happiness? How we struggle? We go on imagining three things. One, I am incomplete. So to get that completeness, I must have that thing. And then I imagine that thing is the source of happiness. So two things have happened. One, a sense of incompleteness in ourselves, and an imagination that object is the source of happiness. These two things put together create a turmoil in our mind. Unless I get that object, I will not be happy. That pressure is called as desire. See, friends, simple things you take. Suppose you have got a thought in your mind, I should go for a walk. And if it is raining, no, but I'll take umbrella and go. We just become slave to our own mind. See, friends. Therefore, again and again we have to recognize that our mind is in the present. And when the mind is in the present, you are happy. And you are happy not as somebody, but you are just happiness. So for that, this technique I tell you, you are seeing me. Now observe where is your focal length. Now hereafter, you see the backdrop, whatever is there, and see what is the focal length. Now, third, wherever your eyes are, let the seeing happen, but don't become a seer. वही करना है. Now you can look into my eyes. I am looking at my camera. You can see them. Then I am looking at that light. You can see. Now, seeing is happening, but I am not a seer. In short, we have to maintain the quality of our mind like that of a mirror. And this can happen only through wisdom, not mechanically. Don't do yoga. You'll destroy yourself. See, very simple. When you stand in front of the mirror, what is the difference between we standing before the mirror and the uh, bird standing in front of the mirror? What is the difference? We see our reflections, but we don't get influenced by the reflection. Neither we get influence nor the mirror gets influence. So, seeing is happening, but seer is not born. So, when I look into the mirror, am I looking at the reflection or I am looking at myself? See? So, when I look at myself, so I am the seen, I am the seer, the seer seen difference has gone. But when a bird looks at it, he looks at the reflection as something other than him, and therefore, dvitiyat vai bhayam bhavati, otherness creates fear, anger, desire, starts speaking, running around, then does sadhana. Kurute Ganga Sagar Gamanam Vrata Paripalan Athava Dhanam. Even then the reflection doesn't go, enemy is still there. And then does lot of yoga, pranayam, again opens the eyes, still there. Thereafter, that also doesn't go. Then do the japa, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Still it is there. Think. Whatever he may do, he cannot do anything with the reflection. What is the reason? It appears but doesn't exist. Now go within. You think that you are seeing me, but the truth is different. You are not seeing me. You are seeing the image that is reflected on your mind. If you close your eyes, image will not be formed. You cannot see me. So what is experience? Not the original object, but the reflection of the object. Think. And if the mind is disturbed, we see that which doesn't exist. In Vivek Chudamani, this thought comes. In a bucket, there is water, and in that we have added cow dung mixed. And the sun is reflected in that muddied water. How will be the reflection? Very dull. Then the water is muddy and disturbed, shaky. Reflection will be dull and disturbed. If the water is clean, steady, no dirt, no disturbance, what will be the reflection? As the original object. In the bucket of our body is the waters of mind, and that water is muddied by the worldly things and beings. Not only that, it is agitated. Anger, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. In that, what will be the reflection of the divinity? Frustrated, angry, reactions. And this has become our habit. One of the most powerful mantra is this: Dekho, suno, mat bolo. Meaning, let there be experience of seeing and hearing, but no comment. When you make no comment, nobody is born. See? A young boy goes around and sees so many girls. He sees and goes away, no problem. But one among them, he sees and then starts his commentary. I am in this temple before Lord Shiva, and I was just thinking, I think I should get married. That very moment, some bell ring, ton. I think it is God's suggestion that this is the right time for me to get married. And therefore, he looks behind. Oh, there is a girl. Is it the message from the God that I should get married to her? And then he start projecting. Hello, how are you? Where do you stay, etc. And how come you are here in the temple at this very moment? No, I came to collect my kids from the school. Oh God, God. Now tell me. If he has heard and kept quiet, don't react in life. Be attentive. Reactions are inwards. You are so beautiful, you are so ugly, you are so intelligent, you are so dumb. Who makes this? When I am seeing red color, my vision doesn't become red. When green color, vision doesn't become green. Yellow color, vision doesn't become yellow. Then who says, yellow, yellow, dirty fellow? It is the mind. Recognize this. By default, we do not react. By practice, we have developed this thing. About everything, we have a comment. Therefore, let our mind be like a mirror. See everything, hear everything, no comments. Now, for this, one part I told you, do not talk about your past. Do not ask anybody about their past. You will start living in the present to a great extent. Now, the next step. When we talk to ourselves, we talk about the future. Now, we are in this house. Now, the host and the hostile. I don't know the feminine gender of the host. I know only one thing. The man of the house is the host, the wife is hostile, kids are hostilities, and I am a hostage. So they will be constantly thinking, after Swamiji's lecture is over, we planned only for 5 people, but now so many people have come. What should we do? We have prepared sambar. I think I'll add hot water in that, make a rasam. Here Brahman is being talked and sambar is being made. Why? Whenever we talk to ourselves, we talk about the future. In short, whenever the mind goes away from the present, it is an experience of misery. And to get rid of that misery, we become more miserable. So, about talking to others, I told you, who asked you? But we keep on talking. No need. Now, the second thing, come back to your own self. Don't talk to yourself. Try this. We'll do this experiment for 1 minute. Do not talk to yourself. Stop. Now, see what happened. What I told you, do not talk to yourself. Did I tell you, don't talk among yourself? Why we talk to others? Because we are not at peace with ourselves. If you are at peace with yourself, you don't want to talk to others. But our condition is, हम तो डूबे हैं, सनम को भी साथ लेके डूबेंगे. I am disturbed, let me disturb others also. See, my friends, start it with 1 minute, extend it, make it 2 minutes. And to make it still solid and deep in you, add one more parameter. Do not talk to yourself and listen to silence. Stop. Now you have got both the experiences. First, not talking to yourself. Second, not talking and listening to silence. They have the difference. When we do japa, it is an action. When any action is repeated, your mind is not required. Anything you do mechanically in life, you lose the charm of life. Why the government servants are not inspired in their life? Because life is mechanical. Go to the office, after going to the office, Ramu, jara chai le aana. You have done nothing. And you want a cup of tea. Mechanical. Let spiritual practice be not a mechanical one. Otherwise, it becomes a military drill. Get up in the morning, do this thing, then do this japa, then do this meditation, and little bit disturbance comes, we become angry. See, friends, mind must be fully involved in the spiritual practice. Be attentive. Spiritual practice is not done by the karmendriya. It is done by the knowledge or the mind. Body has no problem. All the problems are in the mind. We do so much of effort to keep our body healthy. See? Eating this thing, it is not this thing, then the organic food is another funny thing in this country, organic food. Is there something inorganic food or what? Everything is organic. In India, we get even organic salt. Go and take as much as you want. Friends, do take care, do yoga and everything. Why? I want to be healthy. What we have taken care to look after the health of our mind? Non-stop, a poultry farm. And those who can't be at peace with themselves, they don't like others if they are at peace. See, I remember one example from Delhi. After my talk was over, one lady, Punjabi lady, she came as if catching my collar. She said, "What is there for you to tell all the time, be happy, get married and show?" Hare Rama. Meaning, marriage is a license to be miserable, tathastu. See, friends, all these small little things, if we learn, then you will come to understand this simple mantra. Dekho, suno, mat bolo. Now, one step further. If you take a piece of ice and put it in the water, will it make a noise? It won't. In due time, it will be dissolved. Because ice is nothing but water. Water with shape is ice. Ice without shape is water. If this example is clear, mind is speech and speech is mind. See, these techniques which I am telling you, they are not in the books. Work out within yourself. Mind is the cause, speech is the effect. Mind is formless, speech is with the form. Mind is soundless, speech is the sound. Mind is one, speech and words are many. The real spiritual practice is a migration from the many to the one. Ekachintanat nasham etyadaha, Ramana Maharshi says. See, friends, now to make this point, do another experiment. Think whatever you want to think for 1 minute, but one condition. What? Don't use words when you think. Can you think? My friends, when we come out of the bathroom, we come out with the clothes on. We don't come without clothes. Exactly the same way. The thoughts come out of the mind by putting on the clothes of the words. Therefore, this non-stop when it is required, do talk. Don't follow that maunam. About this mauna, I tell you one of my experience. This happened in Haridwar many years before. I was going with my friend in a rickshaw. The man pulled rickshaw. Two of us. My friend told me, Swamiji, in this ashram there is a big Mahatma. Should we go and take darshan? I said, come, no problem. So when we went there, then the secretary, any Mahatma is having secretary. He is a corporator Ananda. Mahatma, they don't have walls. So he said, no, no, you can't meet him. He is observing Mauna. I said, okay, don't scold here. We go back. So we are going out. Again he came running. He said, come here. Maharaj is calling you. I said, how can he call? He is in Maunam. Don't argue. I said, okay. I said, come, we'll go and take darshan. No, no, he cannot go. You can go alone. I said, enjoy. I am going for a sacrifice. I went. He was a Mahatma like this. Mahatma means Mahanasti Atma Udaram Yasyasa Mahatma. So he was sitting in a big chair and I am a plastic brand. So one plastic chair was sit there. He took his paper and pen and wrote on that. What is your name? Give it to me. So I took it. I wrote Garbhadananda. Then where do you stay? So something I have no place actually. So I wrote Vrindavan. Oh. Again, where are you staying? Here in Haridwar. Again I wrote something. That time I realized, come on yaar, I can talk. I am not in Maunam. Why I am not talking? When it struck me, I started laughing. And he also started laughing. Why I am not talking? Then I asked him a question. Maharaj, laughing is allowed in Maunam? These are all the cartoons. Friends, Mauna is not the discipline of speech. Bhagavad Gita clearly tells, Manaprasada, Saumyatvam, Maunam, Atma Vinigraha. When you are cheerful and happy, Manaprasada, living at zero complaint level, cheerful and happy, that state of the mind is Maunam. And what is the speech? Anudvegakaram vakyam satyapriya hitam chayat. Talk in such a manner that you don't hurt others. Instead of that, we get lost in all kinds of technique. No, lead a life which is normal. Don't become abnormal. Friends, spiritual evolution is giving up all the specialities associated with you. In Sanskrit, if I had to tell you in one word, it is Nirvishesha Satta, non-specific being. We become, I am man, I am woman, I am young, I am old, I am beautiful, I am awful, I am rich, I am poor, I am educated, I am overeducated. In addition to that, I am spiritual also. Hare Rama. See, friends, it is not becoming extraordinary. Anything extra you put on yourself is a burden, is it not? So, as if the samsara is a less burden, we become also some spiritual. And then, when we become spiritual, what we do? We compare. We are not like others waking up at 10 o'clock. We wake up at quarter to 10. 15 minutes superior. Arey Ram. We are not like others eating non-vegetarian. We eat only when we go out. In a house, we don't eat non-vegetarian. Friends, drop all the specialities. This is exactly what we experience in deep sleep. Upanishad says, Tatra mata amata bhavati, Tatra pita apita bhavati. The husband and the wife. The husband dares not look at his wife's eyes when they are sleeping at night together in the same bed, where from the courage comes to snore loudly. Because no more a husband. All the problems are when you become somebody. Don't become anybody. Remain casual. It's so important. The moment you become somebody, you are digging your own grave. See, friends, we are born, we go through, bodies drop, nothing happens to us. So, all these factors put together is first, देखो सुनो मत बोलो, no comment on the world. Second thing, stop talking to yourself. Third thing, the real spiritual practice is by the mind, not mechanical. And for that we told you, speech is karmendriya. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 karmendriya. After you do the japa, I tell you, for example, I do japa. I don't have to do any efforts. It keeps on going with the respiration. When I am not talking, it continues. But my mind is not there. That day I realized this truth. That mechanical things do not help on the spiritual path. We have to get our mind involved. And therefore, when we listen to the mantra that we are chanting, now the next technique I am telling you, in your mind, you chant whatever mantra you are chanting for 1 minute in your mind. Stop. Now you have got your experience. Now chant the same mantra again in your mind, but one more additional parameter. Whatever you are chanting, you listen. Chant as well as listen. Start. Stop. Now see the difference? When we do mechanically, mind is not required. And all the problems are in the mind. And how the problems come in the mind? When we become somebody. See, today I should have done japa, but I don't know how I forgot, and I didn't do the japa. Oh God, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Because I am doing the japa. Somebody is born. Therefore, when we interact in this world, let nobody be born. Dukkeshu anudvignamanaha, sukheshu vigataspruhaha, vitaraga bhayakrodaha stitadihi muni uchyate. Life is like that. थोड़े गम है, थोड़ी खुशियाँ, ये जीवन है. But small little things are enough to upset us because we have become somebody. The other day I was in Detroit. One doctor, she came in, she said, Swamiji, I want to ask you a question. I said, yes. Then she told that her mother or father, somebody died recently, and I am not able to take this thing. What should I do? I said, have patience. Time is the only healer. As the time passes, the impact of that event will die away. Don't overdo anything. Relax. And for that, highest spiritual practice is listen to satsang. Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivan mukti, bhaja govindam, bhaja govindam. Of all the spiritual practices that you do, the topmost is only satsanga. You read any book, Yoga Vasishta, then any Puran, Bhagavad Mahapuran, Bhagavad Gita, anywhere. When we listen to satsanga, what happens is our wrong notions are corrected without creating new notions. If you practice yoga, what is yoga? Earlier I was a bhogi, now I am a yogi. Earlier I was eating non-vegetarian every day, now I eat only alternate days. Earlier I never used to go to the temple, but I go every day to the temple. Meaning we are changing this I. We have to drop this I. Only satsanga helps us. See? Remove the wrong notion. Papoham, papakarmaham. I am unfortunate. I am unlucky. I am miserable. I am hurt. This I has to be replaced or deleted. Satsanga teaches us how to delete the I without creating a new I. In other words, freedom from I, not freedom for I. And this can happen only by proper understanding. So wrong notions are dropped without creating new notions. See, friends, when we slowly work in this line, you will come to discover we don't have to become happy, be happy. So to be happy, simplest technique is whatever we do in our life, there are three channels: body, speech and mind. So whatever physical work we have to do it happily. If you don't do it. But don't shout, don't do like that. See? There are some people, they by default, they only start barking. Don't talk. See? So you must have seen also. Why you have come here? Why are you standing there? Wow, wow, Hare Ram, Ram. Physical work should express happiness. Speech should express joy. Mind should not be destructive. You have discovered happiness in you. When happiness is created, it is dependent. When happiness is discovered, it is already there. Scientific discovery All the nature's law are not created by the scientists. They are already there. But they were covered by the ignorance. Remove that, and the same way, we don't have to become happy. And for that, the practice is try to express happiness in and through every expression of life. Suppose I go and tell my girlfriend that, honey, darling, I am so happy today, I just want to cut you to small pieces. It can never happen. Happiness is not a destructive force, it's a creative. Give it a try and be happy. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.